Turn to M3 and Karen B for this week's episode of Comply on the Fly. You'll get quick and timely answers to the most common employee benefits compliance questions so you and your business can keep moving ahead. Please note this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. Please seek the advice of counsel for any benefit compliance-related implementation, guidance, or strategy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B. And the Comply on the Fly question of the week is, I need help regarding eligibility for a part-time employee. The employee was hired in May of 2022, and for the past 10 weeks, he has worked 30 or more hours per week. We use the look-back measurement method. Without a full year of data, should we be offering him benefits? Well, another great question. And of course, the answer requires a grasp of the ACA Affordable Care Act shared responsibility requirements. As a reminder, those requirements apply to applicable large employers, or ALEs, which generally means employers with 50 or more full-time and full-time equivalent employees. If you are uncertain whether or not you are subject to these rules, check in with your M3 account team. Now, back to the question at hand. We have an employee that the employer refers to here as part-time, hired in May 2022. However, out of 10 weeks of employment, this employee's hours have been over 30 for 8 of the 10. My question here would be whether or not the employer accurately categorized this employee at the time of hire. Remember, the only categories are full-time, meaning 30 or more hours per week, part-time, less than 30 hours per week, a variable hour, you cannot predict the hours, or seasonal, which is 6 months or less and tied to an actual season. If full-time, the employee must be offered coverage within the first 3 months of employment. All other categories require the employer to put the employee in an initial measurement period, which typically mirrors the length of an ongoing measurement period, which is typically 12 months. So if this employee was hired in May of 2022, the initial measurement period would start the date of hire or the first of the month following date of hire and run for 12 months, at the end of which the employer would run the hours to see if the person averaged 30 hours per week and offer coverage at that time. The issue in this scenario is that the employee is consistently working over 30 hours. So the questions I would ask would be, 1, did the employer categorize this employee incorrectly at the time of hire, and it really is a full-time position? Or 2, if not a full-time position at time of hire, has it become one, a status change? And 3, is this really a variable hour position, and the hours will eventually be below 30 hours consistently? If the employer categorized this person incorrectly, or the position has now become full-time, then coverage should be offered immediately if there was a mistake, or within 3 months if there is a status change. If this is truly a variable hour position, then the employer can wait the full 12 months and run the hours at that time to determine if an offer should be made. Depending on which course of action you take, subsequent steps need to be taken to get this employee into the ongoing measurement period. Check out the M3 ACA guide for more information on that. And that is your Comply on the Fly question of the week. Thanks for tuning in.
What's on your mind? If you have a pressing compliance question, send it to askkarenb@m3ins.com. We'll do our best to cover it in an upcoming episode. You can now follow and subscribe to Comply on the Fly on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Make sure to tune in next week and encourage others to join us.